Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports, College Basketball 2017. It is week 18 of competition. We are entering the 2023-2024 basketball season. It's only August, though. We are still recruiting, but I'm partway into the recruiting for this year. So we are taking a look at our recruiting screen right now. The one thing that I have omitted completely is shooting guard. I signed 2 of them last year, and I have an overload at that position. However, I have 4 scholarships to offer for the upcoming season, so I'm looking at trying to get one of each at point guard, small forward, power forward, and center this year. What I did was I took every single player in the state of Washington and Oregon and added all of them to my short list. And then I took any player that was in the top about 700 or 800 that had me already on their interest list. Combined that all together and then started my recruiting process. I started by scouting every individual player at least once, but I only just barely got to a second time through when just this week I saw a restructure of the rankings. So my default view of this list is by their overall player ranking, and that's just been reestablished. 2 things that I've done since starting, besides scouting everybody once, was that I started calling players, and you can tell there's a huge difference from where I was when we first started till now. When it comes to being able to generate some buzz and getting players to be receptive to my calls. And I actually was making a lot of progress. You can see that there's still quite a few guys that don't have interest, but part of that is the restructuring in the rankings. A lot of these guys that are up here, I haven't even called yet. The first about 6 guys, all of them had at least minor interest, and I had already unlocked most of what pitches would work with these top guys. So I'm actually making some really, really good progress so far this season in generating some interest and unlocking those pitches. Now, the other thing that I just did, and I haven't updated it yet, so you'll still see that they're here, is I took guys like this one, Satchel. Look at that, F, and I have removed them from my list. The only ones that I took off was there's quite a list of defensive players. Look at that. Guys that cannot defend. Probably every one of them will be gone, but I didn't take them all away yet. I've only scouted these guys once, but if you're this bad, you're not good enough to play for me. So I took the ones that cannot defend and cannot score. So all these D's and that F, those guys I've removed from the list. I'm not even going to give them a second look, but I will give the others a second look. Could turn out that first look was just not enough, so I will go ahead and update my list. There we go. So it's still a very long list, but a little bit shorter now. This would be the greatest recruit ever. Gerhardt, he was ranked 10 in the initial rankings, 15 second time through, and first week out he was receptive to us. And look at all those A's. Wow. I doubt we're going to be able to grab a recruit that high up the list and beat everybody else out, but he is a local guy, so we'll see what we can do. Now that the list has restructured in the overall, I'm going to have to go back to the beginning on getting my scouting of these guys, because I did not get through a second time, but the middle where I left off isn't the middle anymore, as like this O'Bannon guy and Wright moved up the list. So starting from the top, we're going to watch some film on the first 10 guys. I've hosted one or two guys so far, but not many. They were ones that had really high interest already, so I got it out of the way, knowing that they would say yes. Okay, and we're going to take care of our calls. And Linderman is where we left off, by the way. Remember that. Alright, so you can see Gerhardt, I've already unlocked everything, though we are not on his interest level at this point. Okay, so here's O'Bannon, and no reception from him, but we got McKeever going here last week. Got the first few things unlocked. Got a few more. Here's Wright, this is another new one. Nothing there. Gregory, we've already unlocked everything. Matt Turner is another new one. Rivera as well. There we go, see how much progress we're making. It's the first time I've ever called this guy, and right away he's unlocked quite a bit. And the only reason why we stopped there was we ran out of time. Alright, that was the end of recruiting. We had a bigger budget for this year for two reasons. One, and it was my mistake, I caught it just after the day where it's too late. But I had two coaches with their contracts expire and left, and this is going to hurt this year because the replacements are garbage. And even then, I still couldn't get them for very cheap. I don't know if it's the success that we're having or what, but these coaches wanted to get paid decently, and I ended up way down at the bottom of the list with every other school was done hiring coaches a couple weeks before I was able to finally get these guys. And still ended up having to spend $49,000 between the two of them. I ended up just doing 1-year contracts with both, which was part of the reason why it took me so long to hire somebody. But it's because I don't want them back on my coaching staff next year. This is going to be a rough year when it comes to player development and recruiting just a bit. I messed that one up. So I'm going to be looking for new coaches next year. I did get Jamal Rivers re-signed. He's not great, but he's at least got a little bit in terms of categories here. And his scouting's okay, whatever. But that saved us a ton of money, at least. But the other thing was my one chance to ask the board for improvements after our second successive promotion in back-to-back years. I was able to increase our budget. But if I remember from where we were, they actually only increased it by about $4,000. But that is a permanent increase. And 4,000 is 4,000. At the end of the year last year, I had 720 left total on my budget. So 4,000 goes a bit further. But as a result, I was able to actually get the basic recruiting package for the West and go visit the Las Vegas summer camp and spent $10,000 on those, but I was easily saving about $20,000 or $30,000 plus adding $4,000 more. So we've still got a pretty healthy budget of $46,000 left to go on the season. And once again, I have 4 scholarships this year to give out, which is the same as last season. We'll take a look at our roster a little bit later in the episode, but for now, let's continue with our recruiting, which, again, we're here in the middle of August. So I just left off with somebody who I don't see on my list anymore. Linderman. There we go. Walker. It's a quiet period, so no live scouting this week. Okay, and McCutcheon. McCutcheon is the last one we get a view of this week. Alright, let's go ahead and make our calls. We might host somebody this week, but we'll see. Okay, those guys are unlocked all the way. No success with O'Bannon just yet. Okay, that's everything for McKeever now. Got him down. Ross Wright was a new one. Got Gregory done. Here's Matt Turner, another new one last week. And Rivera's one we've made some progress on in a short while. Not perfect though, it's taken a little while to get him going. Here's Walker. There we go. We're out of time, but we did finish him up at least. Okay, progress into next week. McCutcheon was our guy. Got to remember that on my short list. All right, Perry has picked up his interest level, so it's peaking a little bit. McCutcheon was actually 3 to begin with, so we got to kind of keep after him a little bit. We might ask Young to come for a visit this week, and Perry's already been to visit. So actually, he was a +3 earlier, so those guys have both dropped off a little bit. Let's see. Before I forget, McCutcheon is where we left off. So we're on to Norwood on our list. Be nice to have a Drexler come play for us. Portland Trailblazers, Clyde Drexler, if you know who that is. One of the greatest players to ever put on a Blazers uniform. And speaking of, I have no idea if there's any relation whatsoever. This game doesn't point that out, but in real life, my alma mater, the Oregon Ducks, the university has quite the number of famous athletes, sons or daughters playing for the university currently. Couple examples. Mallory McGuire, Mark McGuire's daughter, is a post player for the University of Oregon women's basketball team. And Willow Johnson, Randy Johnson, the great pitcher who was kind of doubled his career with Arizona and then the Seattle Mariners. His daughter is on the volleyball team, and I think there's a couple others. There certainly have been quite a few that have come through. Jordan Kent, another example. Anyway. Okay, so Collier's the last one right now. Looks like we might still be just a little over 10 guys to get the rest. See, there's another example. There's a Prisbilla. Portland had a Prisbilla playing for them. So that very well could be. Coming off of his name. There we go. Okay. Let's make our calls. Gerhart, we're good. Sutton's good. O'Bannon, haven't made any progress with him yet, but there you go. Okay, we just unlocked the first level of interest with him. And unlocked everything in one phone call. Wow. Okay, we're just about out of time. Looks like we might get one thing unlocked here from Rivera. Yeah, we're out of time. We did get one. All right, making some progress. You look at the top of the list, all but 2 guys have at least some basic interest now at the top of the list, including the number 15 recruit in the country. Wants to come play in Division 21 out of 23. Division T. I'd love it if he did. I don't expect it, though. I think he's too high. Could we get Sutton? Yeah, maybe. Our recruiting class last year was absolutely phenomenal. Best class we've had by far. Speaking of, why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at that. But before we do, small forward from Stanford is the preseason favorite, and Sam Fox didn't go pro. He was the winner last year. Speaking of winners, it was UConn. University of Connecticut won the NCAA title last season, and they ended up drafting 3 of their players in the top 5 picks to the NBA, and they added a 4th one coming in as the 10th pick. It was shocking. Speaking of shocking, Stanford, who wasn't even in the top 25 last year, looked to be a favorite for this season, apparently because of Cherokee Pack, as they are picked in the top 10 for this coming season. And Oklahoma comes in as the preseason favorite. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our roster for the first time this year. We have added our walk-on now. Emerson Fisher, small forward, comes in. So, Zimmerman redshirted last year, so he'll be a freshman this year to go alongside Aki Collins at the point guard, plus the walk-on Lancaster, who did pick up a few minutes last year. Preston Favors is a junior now, and he'll be joined by Teddy Hazelton, incoming freshman, Reginald Neely, the redshirt junior, and junior college transfer and top 100 recruit Chad Williams, highest recruit my school has ever had. And then Marcus Lowe is a senior this year, along with Kevin Cole, both playing their senior season, which means I'm going to lose 2 small forwards, and I only have 3 as it is right now. And the third one, Emerson Fisher, is my new walk-on, so a junior walk-on. So that means I am losing everything that I have at the small forward position. So this is going to be very important to recruit well at the small forward coming in for next year, and I might be after a JC transfer on that. I'll have to look at my recruiting list to see where we are on the small forward front. Clifton Jennings is going to be a senior this year. And we added Gerard Feltz. He was a top 100 recruit. He stayed by the end of the recruiting season as a top 200 recruit, coming in as a freshman. Ray Price, who redshirted last year, is going to play his freshman year this year. So those two are going to be fighting it out for who takes over after Jennings graduates. Charles George is now a junior. And we did add Daniel Earl, who we had a scholarship offer out to at the end of the season last year. He did sign, coming in with an excellent GPA and pretty strong recruit. He was, I think, top 350 or around 360 in the recruiting ranks, and that was the lowest recruit we brought in this season. I have not looked at their ratings yet. We'll check that out a little bit later, but for now, let's continue on with our recruiting. I have not offered any scholarships out just yet, but I'm after these top guys, and these top guys, obviously, had zero interest in us initially, but I'm trying to generate some buzz. Now, where did we leave off? I got through... Oh, do I have new rankings again? No. I got Linderman, and then I think McCutcheon. So are we on Norwood? No. We got to Collier. We're on Prisbilla. Still a quiet period, so I haven't been able to do any additional. We're not going to quite make it. I've got 6 guys left at the bottom. So we're between Collins and Jones. Wow, Jones started as a much higher recruit than this. Might take him off my list. But, wow, he's got a lot of Bs, though. I've got to get another chance to look at these guys before, so I can reevaluate before I take some more off of our short list. Small forward. That was the position I needed. And here is our junior college transfer coming in with a B. So Sutton might be somebody I really push to get on our squad, because that is the impact player that I need. That's the immediate replacement that I need desperately. I would offer a scholarship, but I think timing is important. All right, let's go ahead and make our calls for the week so we can continue on to our next week. We've already got Gerhardt locked down. We have Sutton locked down now. O'Bannon, just like that, a single week, and he's locked down. And here we are, Ross Wright, still working on that guy. We got Gregory down, and Matt Turner's the other one that we have not been able to make any progress on. Rivera, slowly but surely coming along. We're down to just 2 things, and now we're done with Rivera. We're already done with Linderman and Marlon Walker. Here's a new one, Pete Selby. I don't think we've called him before. Perry was on our list earlier. Let's see here. Richardson, another new one. Hansen, we've already unlocked. His ranking dropped a lot from where he was initially to start the season. And we got through to that guy, though we didn't get any information. But we at least got a little interest now. And we head to September now. Okay, I know we had 6 guys left here, and it looks like the rankings have shuffled again. They certainly have. Gerhardt is back up to 10th. McKeever has jumped into the top 100. Where's our JC guy? Sutton. Has dropped below Walker and Rivera. But I might be offering Sutton anyway, especially if he stays high rankings like that. This does make it problematic. I'm trying to drop off those last few guys when I still never got a look at them. However, from here I can see which guys do not play defense, and let's go to that call list, update it that way, easier to look. There you go. Our list of Fs has dropped considerably from where it was before. None of them have DDD. But let's see who has no D rankings there. But these guys that can't play D, none of them are solid on offense. And there's a few ranked inside the top 1,000. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take anybody who's above 1,000 in ranking and does not play D, and we're going to take them off the list. So we're going to start here. This guy doesn't appear to have the GPA necessary anyway. There is one JC guy here, Fields. He plays D though, so we'll leave him on. A Smith is another one. Oh, I was forgetting to check. Oh no, I'm set up by ranking right now. Let's go ahead and update it, shorten the list down a little bit, make things a little easier on ourselves to pick these guys out. Defense, Brisbilla does not play D. Okay, Collins, that's another one. Okay, update that list again. And let's see here. Defense, defense, defense. There's another F right there. And that appears to be the last one. And that's last one below 1,000. So we're going to get him off the list as well. I don't want guys on my roster who cannot defend. But that's simple. And speaking of, it looks like I do have another one up here. Two of them. Selby and Bailey, and their rankings are pretty low as well. Bailey's not terrible, and he does have interest in coming to our school, but I don't care. I'm finding that I can recruit decently now. Let's see where the other would go. Selby. Okay, that should clear that up. It should have all the F's gone. Except for one, way up here. He's pretty high in the rankings, but you look at his scouting and he's just not. Where was he before? I've scouted him at least twice, so we're gonna let him go as well, even though he's a little bit higher in the rankings. All right, that should be just about. I have one left. He's ranked 328 and he's an A on scoring. Oh, that's O'Bannon. Okay, well, let's leave O'Bannon on for now. Oh, that's rebounding, not defense. His defense is a B. It's this guy above him, Sharp. Sharp's the one who's not much of a scorer. Good ball handler. He's a power forward. He can rebound. We'll leave him out there for now. We'll give him some more looks. Maybe he's not that bad at defending. But that shortens the list down a little bit, so we're getting there. We're starting to whittle it down. I will need to keep an eye on things like GPA as time goes on, but for now, I'm trying to manage the list a bit at a time. So let's get back to who we're watching now. These update in the rankings means that this is all out of order from what it was. We're going to start right back at the top, and we're going to go through the first 10 guys. It's another quiet period, so I can't go scout anybody live. The nice thing about scouting them live is you can turn 10 into 13 by watching film on 10 and scouting 3 live, which is the limit every week, but it's not during a quiet period. Okay, so where did we just leave off? Hansen. Hansen's the last one. Okay, let's make our calls. With the list being a little bit different, there's bound to be a few guys that I have not called yet that are going to be having moved themselves up the list, like Michael Stewart. I don't know if I have parent information. Let's start there. I didn't, but he hung up on us. There's a new one, Tyler Richardson. Maybe. Here's Anthony Drexler. Alright, finally making progress on somebody this week. And here's there's Matt Turner, where we continue to not make progress. He's moved down the list a bit. All right, that's looking pretty healthy up there with lots of minor interest. And as we can start making actual contact with these guys, I can see us moving up that list a bit. Okay, there's contact this week. So this is that week where things are going to start to look a little bit different, hopefully on this list, as I can actually make contact with players finally. Okay, now I had 3, 6, 9. Yeah, Hansen was the last one. Turner's where we've left off, so let's get that part taken care of. Turner, we're on Turner. Okay, I can't scout them live though, but I can visit some guys, so. Williams, Blevins, Harvey. Okay, so Harvey's now the last one that we just took a look at. Harvey. Okay, do I have anybody who's... The only guys that I have that are double interest are ones that have already visited. So I will be visiting 4 guys, probably right near the top of the list. But Sutton, I might go after him. So maybe the top 3 and Sutton. But that also depends on what pitches are available. So Gerhardt doesn't care about location, but he does care about playing time and school prestige and conference prestige. We're screwed. We're not going to be able to get Gerhardt with that list. He doesn't care about the academics. So he's going to be tough to get, especially a top 10 recruit. But we will visit him nonetheless and try. We're going to have to go for playing time, as he cares a whole lot about that. And I could certainly offer him substantial playing time. Okay. McKeever. Let's see. He's from Chelan, Washington. And let's see. Facilities. He cares about academics. So there's our target, academics. So we're going to go visit him. And these guys, basically, if this fails, if this doesn't increase their interest, if it fades, they're done. There's no way I'm going to get these guys recruited. Now, here's my best chance of getting somebody. He cares about location. He cares about academics. Beaverton is a suburb of Portland, which is where our team's located. So this guy is kind of the top one on the list right now, who I think we could have a pretty good shot at actually recruiting. So there you go, location. Now, this is another one. I don't know where Mapleton is, but he's in Oregon and he cares about location. But I wanted to contact Sutton this time, so we will call him though. Nice, look at all that. We got everything done. Oh, we don't have the parents' information though. Okay, Rivera we finally finished up. Richardson's the one we still haven't been able to get through to, and there you go. He was receptive this time. Nice, he cares about location. Here's Sutton. We've got everything we need. Oh, that's my hometown, Vancouver, Washington. Fort Vancouver. I actually worked at that school previously. So, let's see here. Location. we are going to go for that visit. And we'll see how it goes. I might offer him a scholarship here. It's his GPA 2.4. It's good enough. Alright, we still have a little bit of time left for calls. So let's go with Drexler, and we're out of time on that one. And we'll see how this goes.
You have new mail. You have new mail.
And it looks like schedules just came out, or is about to come out. Oh, nice. Sutton just jumped a lot. Gerhardt's gone, though. I told you Gerhardt was going to be difficult as soon as I looked at what he had to offer. But McKeever and Walker both moved up, and Sutton moved up a lot. So I can already tell you what's going to happen from this. Emerson Gerhardt, yeah, he can't see himself playing for us. I understand that. Things hit home for McKeever and for Walker and Sutton. Both the family and him thought the visit went really well. Nice. So Gerhardt's going to be gone from the list. We're not going to get him back. That was our one shot. So let's go in there and remove him from the list so we don't waste our time any longer on that. And that's going to be that. I wonder where we are on these guys' list. We'll take a look at that real quick as I wrap up this episode. So we have McKeever. We're still not in his top 10, or at least we're not seeing a list. We just cracked it for Walker. And Sutton too. We're all the way down in 10th. So we've still got a lot of work to do on those guys. But all three of them liked us. So there is potential if we keep working at it. Sutton's B rating might be enough to push him. Rivera's a C. Walker's a C. So Sutton might be my guy. I think I'm going to offer a scholarship to him, and we'll keep pushing him while we're still in this contact period. So hopefully, when I see you here at the start of the season, we'll have at least Sutton signed, and that would be awesome. And then if we get lucky and maybe grab McKeever along the way, point guard's our other most immediate need for this recruiting class. So hopefully we can get those two guys signed here pretty early, and they're both excellently ranked as well. So things are looking up for the upcoming season, and we will get to that here in the next episode. But that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.